Cardinals from the 24-yard line. In fact,
throw a little wildcat action. Ryan Lindley over on the sideline.
Peterson is your quarterback, the terrific corner and punt returner, and he's just going to run to the left with it. Here comes a flag as he got near the first down marker. Flag back at the 29-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Gain by Patrick Peterson.
Definitely a creative play call, and they've got the numbers in terms of the run game. There's Jeff King on Lawrence Jackson. Basically just grab.
And Patrick Peterson on Calvin Johnson. Top of your screen at 2nd and 3. Calvin Johnson tipped away by Peterson. It'll be 3rd and 3.
And this is the premier matchup that we'll have our sights on all day. And look, the Lions get into these heavy tight end sets, which force the extra defender up in the box for the Arizona Cardinals, which then give you the isolation matchups out on the edge. And Patrick Peterson, the ball a little bit underthrown, but played that perfectly.
Peterson said, "I'm the best corner in the NFL. Calvin Johnson's the 2nd best receiver. Larry Fitzgerald is the best receiver."
Feeding Tony Scheffler.
Pass is caught by Calvin Johnson. His first catch of the game as Patrick Peterson is with him. A 90th consecutive game. Every game he's played in since he's been in the NFL, he's had a catch.
Well, and Patrick Peterson's going to play behind him. So you do that against a 6'5", 230-pound receiver. If Matthew Stafford even puts that ball close in terms of the picture frame, typically Calvin Johnson's going to go get it. And one thing I've seen him do more of, Chris, over the last 6 or 7 weeks, more in-cutting routes. All of his production and the pressure goes straight through the roof on the need for Calvin Johnson to stimulate this offense with a bunch of receptions.
2nd and 3. Time for Stafford. Pass is caught by Johnson. First down into Cardinal territory. Arizona, 1st and 10 Lions. Stafford after the fake from the pocket. Here comes a flag, and Calvin Johnson went down at the 15-yard line. Calais Campbell came in and put the pressure on Stafford.
While the quarterback was still in the pocket, illegal contact. Defense number 58. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
4. Stafford. Calvin lays out, but it's incomplete. Patrick Peterson over there running with him. 2 catches in the game so far for Calvin Johnson for 19 yards.
And there's the matchup. Arizona brings the pressure, so one-on-one to the outside. That's where Calvin Johnson pushed off a little bit. Patrick Peterson wanted the pass interference. Certainly wasn't going to get it. And there's the hit on Matthew Stafford as Darnell Dockett's trying to hold him up. But I promise you, they're going to keep attacking Patrick Peterson when he gets in those one-on-one isolation matchups with Megatron.
Top of your screen is Calvin Johnson to the left of
the game last week. Look for a little pivot route by Logan.
End zone. Pass is caught by Calvin Johnson. Maybe good enough for a 1st and goal. Calvin came in with just 5 touchdowns this year.
Well, it's exactly what they just ran with Stephon Logan. He ran a pivot route, which means you flash in and then bounce back to the outside. Kerry Rhodes went up and took him, opened the window for Calvin Johnson. You said it. I mean, 5 touchdowns. That's 6 times. 6 times Calvin Johnson has been tackled on the 1-yard line.
Stafford to throw for Calvin Johnson, his 100th catch of the season.
I just don't know how you cover that if you're Patrick Peterson, who is one-on-one matched up outside the numbers with Calvin Johnson. And Calvin is going to look like he's doing the takeoff route. I mean, he is going to push this so hard vertically. Patrick Peterson flips his hips to run with him. Calvin breaks it off and comes back. That's almost undefensible when you got a good quarterback and a good communication between the quarterback and the wideout.
First time in his career, he's reached 100 catches in a season, and this is 6th NFL season. On the show, Crack, I was laughing out loud. The hook's over watching. Pass incomplete. There are a couple of flags down. Stafford is knocked down.
They're going to get defensive holding here on the Arizona Cardinals.
Calais Campbell on top of Stafford. And he is moving carefully.
I'll tell you one thing.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense, number 76. Holding, defense, number 21. Those fouls all set. Replay, second down.
So on Patrick Peterson and on Jeff Backus, those are the calls, but no call from his own end zone. For Calvin Johnson, it's intercepted. Patrick Peterson has a takeaway. Peterson inside the 5. If he didn't lose his balance, he would have run it into the end zone.
I think it was Calvin Johnson swiping at him at the end. This is not a good throw from Matthew Stafford. Very risky throwing out of your own end zone. Clear double coverage on Calvin Johnson. You got Patrick Peterson who will play him on the top shoulder. You got Adrian Wilson coming over the top. And it was the little hold right there, it looked like, that Patrick Peterson got away with that really contorted the route of Calvin Johnson. And Peterson was right in perfect position. Interception number 6, I believe.
No, that's his
number 7 on the year for Patrick Peterson.
The 4th consecutive game with an interception, and the last time a Cardinal did that, it was Aeneas Williams back in 1994. And for Arizona, their 20th interception of the season. A miscue on that special teams block that didn't give Logan a chance. And let's take a look at the play as Calvin Johnson makes the catch. Calvin Johnson is aiming for his 7th straight 100-yard receiving day. Has 44 yards so far, chasing history. The great one, Jerry Rice, who set in 1995 the all-time NFL record of 1,848 receiving yards. That's a single season record. Calvin Johnson came in today just 303 yards away with 3 games, including today, and the updated numbers to the moment, including his catches. He's 259 yards from that record of Jerry Rice as the shore carries. Calvin Johnson has never met Jerry Rice, and some have said that Rice not only the best receiver in the history of the game, but maybe the best player. And Calvin already closing in on that magical number in a season.
And as he said to us yesterday, it's really cool to be able to chase such an old record with such a great player. And we all know Jerry Rice, the best that's ever played the wide receiver position. It's not going to be easy. Look, Arizona good in pass defense. Chicago good in pass defense. One thing to his benefit, though, is this game and then the next 2 will all be indoors. It's 70 degrees. The weather will not have a factor.
Matthew Stafford's throw batted down. Looked like he was trying to get it to Calvin Johnson. The remaining Lions games the Falcons and then the Bears. And Stafford said it would be an honor to get the ball to Calvin and have him share the record. Right now, Detroit has to try and rally here in Arizona.
And look at Calais Campbell, all 6'8" of him. He's so high that ball hits him right in the grill, right in the face mask. And that's what the good pass rushers do. When they realize they're locked up and they're not going to get there and the quarterback's throwing it, stop your rush and get up in the throwing lane. Perfect.
3rd down and 8. Pass is caught. That's Calvin Johnson, who fights for a first down across the 30-yard line. He's already hit the 100-yard catch mark for the first time in his career.
Now here's the beauty of this play. He's going to motion in, and it's not even a great throw, but Calvin goes and gets it and then breaks the tackle and is able to get past the first down mark.
The Detroit Lions, and you talked about their season, Tim. They've had 8 losses by 1 single. 3rd and 1. So throw. Stafford backpedaling. A little behind, but Calvin Johnson has it. All the way down to the 21-yard line.
What a terrific job by Matthew Stafford. Knowing the blitz is coming, he looks left, he looks right. Now he pedals out to his left, and Calvin Johnson right in front of him on the crossing route, which took a long time to develop. Patrick Peterson falls down. The rest is history with Calvin picking up extra yards, but very well done by Matthew Stafford getting to his 3rd read and extending the play.
Calvin Johnson with a 24-yard catch and carry. 14 targets, 7 catches for Calvin Johnson. He's got 77 yards, and again, that NFL record that he can equal, held by a couple of players. Michael Irvin, one of those. He's closing in on.
And he and Larry Fitzgerald, I don't know about you, and we've met them all. And You talk about superstars and star power, the two humblest superstars, Chris, I've ever met in my life.
At a diva position, the wide receiver. You mentioned Charlie Hennigan of the Oilers and Michael Irvin of the Cowboys back in '95. They're the ones who have 7 consecutive games with 100 receiving yards or more. And Calvin comes in with 6 straight. And he's 23 yards away.
Yeah, down 3 scores here. I can promise you're going to see Calvin targeted 20 times in this game.
Harris. Patrick Peterson. Peterson goes all the way across the field and races up toward midfield before going out of bounds. A 15-yard return after a 49-yard.
Stafford's got a 30 rating so far in this game. They're destroying him with hits.
Patrick Peterson back in the secondary. The throw in the neighborhood of Calvin Johnson, who hangs on and goes out of bounds, working against Peterson.
And that's going to be real close to giving him that 100-yard threshold. Look at this throw from Matthew Stafford. Of course, coming right out of the slot, man coverage, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and Stafford throws a perfect ball.
A 30-yard gain. He's over 100 yards. 7 straight 100-yard receiving games for Calvin Johnson, equaling an NFL record held by Charlie Hennigan of the Oilers in '61 and Michael Irvin of the Cowboys in 1995. Darnell Dockett putting the pressure on Matthew Stafford, and that's a Lions team record, and again equaling the NFL mark. That's really impressive.
Well, his mindset now, and it took him a few years to get going. He's just so physically skilled, and his numbers were always really good. That's Nate Burleson talking to him there, the receiver that's hurt. But I think Calvin decided a couple of years ago that I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and I'm better than everybody else out there. And I'm just going to thrive on that and have confidence to go get it. He's awesome.
Stafford's throw is caught again by Johnson. 41-yard line with his progress from the initial spot of the catch.
The beauty of Calvin is not as he, you know, we talked about the outside routes and the big routes down the field and the vertical routes, but those in cuts where he is cutting inside and then driving back to the football with that big body, it's just all about timing from Matthew Stafford, who has great trust in him. It's really super hard to defend. He's such a concise route runner.
A hard worker, a smart kid. His mom a doctor, his father still works on the railroad. Matthew Stafford floats one out of bounds. Coverage was excellent by the Cardinal defense. Pass is caught. Calvin Johnson with his 10th catch of the game. It'll be good for a Lion first down. Double coverage and incomplete. Calvin Johnson the target with Rhodes and Peterson on him. Patrick Peterson, you know, he talked a good game, but he backed it up. He had the interception earlier. He said, I'm the best corner and I can handle Calvin Johnson. Of course, Larry Fitzgerald in this game has only 4 catches, but he's on the sideline that's leading today.
Yeah, but the offense didn't screw it up. I think that's the beauty of the Arizona Cardinals. It wasn't great.
And the Cardinals, as Joint Bell carries, will put an end to the misery of a 9-game losing streak after they started the season 4-0. And rookie Ryan Lindley works the controls. The final here in Arizona, the Cardinals 38, Calvin Johnson and the Lions 10.